Again, oh my god. Alright, so sorry about that, folks. We had a bit of a problem with the lobby. We had to get that fixed up and get the stream started again, but we are back. And why is Scar Logan on front with mediums? Anyways, we'll figure that out later. Here we are, yeah. So Scarligan was supposed to start on the softs. That's going to be a penalty for him. Yeah, he's on the mediums now. Oh man, this lobby is it's been quite the headache. But I actually have a co-com with me this time around. Carter, hello.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had our quali, and then when the race started, a driver had trouble connecting in, and then it crashed the stream, and everyone had cold tires, so we decided to reboot the lobby. But Mivako, the pole position sitter, even though we see his stream and we sent him well over 100 invites and tried to reach him and sent him well over 100 messages total, like through invites and Discord messages, has not joined yet. And we can see the invites pouring in on his stream, and he hasn't joined. So we decided to just get the race started, which is why you see Scar Logan on pole. But then Scar Logan went ahead and he started on the wrong tires, which means there's going to be a penalty there. And End of the World is probably technically on pole now if you count the fact Scar Logan's going to take a penalty. Probably a hefty one. But yeah, we're getting ready for the start here.
The world finds himself in the most unlikely of positions. Never would have thought he'd be fighting for a possible win. Probably doesn't even know it yet still.
Yeah. But yeah, we're here. And we're about to get started. The lights are coming on for real. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're off. And can we get a good angle? There we go. It seems like a couple of ghosted cars there. That's going to lead to less carnage. But watch out when they unghost. Good start from Scar Logan. It looks like Aizen diving down the inside of him. There's contact with the Renault of End of the World. And End of the World semi loses it. He gets back going again. And we're having a little scoreboard glitch here. So these guys aren't ghosted for each other. It just looks like that for us. They are racing wheel to wheel here. And a little bit of contact between Scar Logan and Krago. Scar Logan skittling across the racetrack. But getting it back together and ahead into P2. Aizen, though, slipping through on the soft tires. He's now in P1. Mivako just joins. That's too late for him. Not going to be able to get in this time just after the start. We did wait quite a long time, but very unfortunate for Mivako. Both Ferraris not moving off of the start. End of the World and Demort's getting a good start. So both Renaults. Well, End of the World actually had a bad start, but Demort's had a great start. Both Renaults now side by side. Joseph Cozy. And he's holding position in P9. So decent start for him. Looks like everyone's kind of slotted into where they're supposed to go. We saw some action in the back there. Yeah, but Calais, Joseph Cozy, Bempo Gaming trying to start attacking the Red Bull of Joseph Cozy. We have a yellow flag, Sector 3, the Fallen Monkeys. I see that Mercedes is spun around. No, is there damage on that car? There's a lot of damage on that car. So we're getting an early pit stop for the Mercedes crew. And there looks Calais. Oh, around the outside of Cozy. And Cozy, a bit of contact on the way back, but Cozy's going to keep fighting it. Can he go around the outside here? It's hard tires versus soft tires. Cozy's got more grip, and he's holding on around the outside. Beautiful move from Joseph Cozy. Gets that Red Bull into 8th place. And carries on now. Demort's ahead of him. Goes a bit wide there, but overall that was a great move from Joseph Cozy. And it's nice to see him fighting like that. and taking positions. Had a bit of a tough start to the season, but now he's looks like he's taking back control. But we're on lap 3. I think it's time everything's calmed down just enough. Kurt, is there anything we missed during that start?
Just looked like Binbo Gaming. We had that scoreboard glitch. It showed him in the lead. Obviously wasn't, but he was one of those ghosted cars we were talking about. Having some connection issues. Saw he was able to rejoin, but losing a lot of spots during the time he wasn't in control of his car. Now down all the way into 12th. You also mentioned Into the World. He had a really bad start, mentioning him for possibly the win. Scarlo's penalty coming, but not able to get the best start. Drops down to 6th, just ahead of his teammate.
Yeah,
Catastrophic trying for that. Sorry, he's trying for that from the back of the pack last, a question mark challenge, if you will. Still lingering around there. But,
up 4 places from his start, so a good start for him. I mean, especially around this circuit. Sorry about that. But yeah, especially on this circuit, we're so hard to get up positions. It's very tight. There's not a lot of hard braking zones. But already up into 14th now, trying to get past the Red Bull of Hartman Esports. DRS is about to get turned on. That should help F1 Richie get past his teammate. He's been kind of stuck behind Craigo there, falling out of DRS range from the Williams of Vilton Matt. So he needs to get past his teammate. Wonder if they're going to be calling in team orders at Ferrari. We see that Renault right behind him. Catching up. We were looking at Scar Logan there for a second. I was trying to look at the back of the Ferrari, but and not able to get past on that first DRS zone. It looks like
you might want to be thinking for the Ferrari boys. Maybe some team orders here. You got both the Renaults. You don't want to slow down your teammate too much, but we'll just have to see what happens, especially for F1 Richie in his championship sake.
Yeah, big train of cars there. We're seeing some action further back in the pack there. There you go. A lot of movement between Stunik and Catastrophic now fighting. In the front there, you saw, oh my goodness, that was Bembo and Maverick going side by side through turn 4. Very brave. As I said, through turn 5 again. And it's going to be Maverick that comes out ahead, as Stunik and Catastrophic weren't done fighting either. But Catastrophic coming out on top of that battle, and I think Hartman left out to dry there, facing the wrong way. He's going to drop down a few positions. Back up the grid though, I saw some fighting there in the back, and I had to tune in.
Richie's really starting to get under pressure now from End of the World. So forget the whole team orders thing. If he can't even catch up to his teammate at this point, then that idea is scrapped out the window, and now he's under pressure from both Renaults.
Yeah, and he's gonna want to. I don't know if he maybe just cooked his tires, or let's look at his telemetry here. Maybe he's just pushed her. Oh, actually, there goes one of the Renaults. End of the World trying to go around the outside. Not gonna work. He's gonna have to tuck back in. But yeah, I think being stuck by his teammate has cost him just a little bit. Maybe he hasn't been able to cool down the engine, but now he's under pressure and taken to the grass. Goes around the outside, goes End of the World. Not able to make it stick, had to slow down. And let's F1 Richie survive just a little bit longer, but into this chicane now is going to be D-Morts right behind on the medium tires, who's looking to get a piece of that, and there goes Mivako, not able to get in his car, unfortunately.
Yeah, End of the World's really got to hurry up and get past F1 Richie. You can tell that he's getting frustrated. He knows he's faster and just losing a lot of time behind the Ferrari.
Yeah, and it's costing his teammate too. There's no doubt both Renaults have the pace right now to get past F1 Richie. Fortunately for him too, because he's still in second place in the championship. It's not the kind of pace you'd want to see from a championship contender around this circuit early on. He's still P5, that's a decent haul of points, but with Mivako out, he's got to take full advantage of that, and he's got to get a win today. Oh, that's, I just saw that out the corner of my eye. That's Fallen Monkeys with some more troubles there. He's going to have to get back around to the pits. He's a long way, and the leaders are coming. And we're seeing Aizen right away here.
speaking of the leaders, with Azen and Scarlo, the gap. Well, so starting to talk, it was under a second, and all of a sudden, Azen has gained another 7/10 on Scarlo since I started talking.
Yeah, we do have a VSC out.
Really?
We can't see. Yeah, we can't see it. We don't have an icon, but I do see the track map being yellow, and the cars were slowing down. I looked over at following looking at the screen, and there was a VSC for debris. They just gone back underway. That's probably why we saw that gap change because of the speed difference. No, effectively we didn't get a notification for that on the spectator side of things.
I feel like we're back underway now. It doesn't look. The track map's not yellow, at least for me, so it looks like
no, they're back underway, and as you can see, Scarlogan closing up that gap as well. But Scarlogan, he's gonna take a penalty for sure. F1 Rishi pitting. Was there maybe some damage on that Ferrari? Because that's an early pit stop.
Not sure about that, but Scarlo easily gets past Azen, going pretty slow in a straight line, maybe orchestrated to let him by. But Scarlo, with a penalty still pending, at least for now, is the race leader. Azen's starting to fall back a bit. Built and Matt. Maybe Azen's starting to. Does he have a problem or something? Because Scarlo just set the fastest first sector of the race.
Well, Azen has
another spot.
Does he have a flat tire? I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. Maybe he's just making a mistake. As that stretches turn 5 that we all know about, that inside curb. It's possible he got loose, but there it goes. Azen down 2 spots is going to promote not only Scarlogan to the lead, but Bilton Matt into second place. Gives him a buffer with Craigo, who had been closing up there, leaving his teammate in the dust. And Craigo doing a good job staying away from those Renaults so far. Still, I think Into the World is holding up D-Morts a little bit as the soft tires are starting to fall off in terms of grip. And D-Mort's on the medium tires. He's going to start picking up the pace soon. I think we might be able to see some team orders from the Renault team if they decide to play nice, because that pace advantage is going to be in the D-Mort's court very soon. But into the pits again does as well. It goes Bempo Gaming, and that's going to get Catastrophic and Maverick fighting right out of the pit entrance in turn 1, or the pit exit rather, in turn 1. And Catastrophic ahead, and Catastrophic into P9. He hasn't made a stop yet. He's on the mediums, so he's going for a one-stop strategy, which means a lot of these guys that we're seeing on the softs right now are also going on the so they're going on a 2-stop strategy. So Catastrophic only has 1 more stop to go, but he's going to have the pace disadvantage late in the race. But getting himself up into P9 already from P19, not a bad start to the race.
We seem to see it every weekend, going for the longer strategy. Looks like it's paying off so far. Still waiting to see when the trigger is pulled, so to speak, and we see everyone on those soft tires start to make their moves into the pits. And there goes Cozy. Just one drive right now. D-Morts finally gets past his teammate on the straight, maybe orchestrated as it would seem.
Yeah, we're Joseph Cozy into the pits for Red Bull. In the front there, Craigo really starting to catch up to Azen, so I think we might be seeing just some tire problems for the McLaren. Maybe some overheating, because not only has he gone from first to third, but he's not been able to keep up with Bilton Matt and Scarlogan. He's fallen steadily back, and now it's Craigo in the Ferrari. Oh, big moment! You see that right behind for D-Morts, who managed to get past his teammate in the last lap. And big moment as he tries to catch up to Craigo, and we see the pace advantage that these guys have now on the medium tires. Look how close it is between these two.
Yeah, and this is when tires, especially your front left, I've realized this is when, if you're on softs, they really start to overheat. And the corner right here that Azen, Craigo, D-Morts are going through becomes so much more difficult.
And we're gonna see Craigo pit there. As you can see the wear on his tires. A big line. of blisters there along that outside edge. And Built and Matt as well, end of the world pitting. So a lot of our soft tire runners opting to go for the hards here. So maybe a one stop from Craigo, as ignore that animation. There's a bit of a glitch. He did not get held up. He's back out in front of end of the world, right behind Built and Matt. And have you noticed it's not so sunny anymore?
Just about to say, it's getting a little bit dark. Now, rain at this track would just throw everything at the wall.
Yeah, now we are expecting rain towards the end of the race. Don't know how much rain it is. Might just be a drizzle, and these guys don't get off the slicks. It might be inters though. Don't think it's gonna be heavy enough for the wets, but we have yet to see. We're looking at catastrophic defending from Estunik trying to attack Calais. They're a long way back from the top three, but they've also got a pit stop in hand. And they're less than a pit stop's length behind. So these three guys putting themselves in a good position for later on in this race.
Yep, and Azid is really struggling on those tires. He finally decides to make that pit stop. But for the likes of Built and Matt, I'm sure the undercut is going to pay off. Because as Azin just struggled so much on the softs, Built and Matt had that one outlap on the fresher mediums. Let's see where Azin files in.
Azin's coming out. There goes Calais. There goes Catastrophic. There goes Estunik. And behind Maverick, ahead of Craigo, just ahead of Craigo for Azin. So still behind Built and Matt. It looks like that mistake earlier, we didn't see quite what it was. But that mistake just coming back and hurting him again, because he's coming out now, still under fire from Craigo, but he does have the tire advantage now as he's on the mediums.
So, looking at possibly a two-stop, because I don't think you could take mediums for 24 laps around here. Just have to wait and see.
No, I think these drivers banking on the rain being
on the rain, that's right. Yeah.
being strong enough that they have to switch to inters. Depending on how late it comes, though, it might just be cloudy for a bit and not rain. Or actually, is that? Did I see that right?
Did I see it?
Could have sworn I saw a little bit of rain there.
Guess not.
Switched over to the onboard, and no, we don't see anything just yet. Oh, bit of grass there from Calais. That's going to help Estunik into this corner, but Estunik under pressure from Built and Matt, and Built and Matt's going to be able to get ahead of him, diving into the slipstream of Calais, and Estunik is fighting back, but Built and Matt just more speed down the straight. He's on the soft tires. Built and Matt, I think, trying to make it work until the rain, as now he gets past the Mercedes, still getting past, and he's going to send it in around the outside. Easy move there. Soft tires versus hard tires. It's not going to work. Oh, but now Calais touching with Estunik, and Estunik's going to be spun into the wall as he tried to sneak his wing in there, tried to make a sneaky move. And I don't think Calais ever saw him. Cuts down on the corner, and Estunik around he goes. Not sure if that was the most well-advised move. Calais escaping with that one. Good save from the Mercedes drivers, but now he's got a whole line of cars right behind him, and Azin, Craigo, end of the world, F1 Richie, all squabbling for position. And is that Craigo we're seeing trying to make a move on the Maverick? It is. Is he able to hear into the break? No, not close enough. You can kind of sneak a move in there, but look how close Azin is.
Wow, the Maverick really getting.
Ooh, big moment there from Craigo. Has to go deep.
And now he's going to be under pressure from End of the World and F1 Richie. Look at this, 6 cars all in line together. Here goes Azin trying to get past Calais. Ferrari trying to get past Maverick.
Craigo going deep though. There's the Maverick again. Still fighting. There's just 2 group of cars there. Oh, End of the World trying to go around the outside. Ends up going very deep into that corner. And Craigo gets past Maverick and the Haas. Maverick now having to fight back from End of the World. But End of the World has his own problems to worry about with F1 Richie in the Ferrari right behind him. Still fighting. And Knock is going to have to wait a little bit, though, because they're getting into this tight section of the track. You can't make a move here. You just got to slap it into lean mix, and unless your opponent makes a mistake, you're kind of stuck behind them. So end of the world, though. After that that tough start, not able to fight his way back up the order and make up for those positions. That pace he had in qualifying seemingly gone. Here he comes on Maverick, able to position his car well. Oh no! There you go. He's able to get on the inside, but not able to clear Maverick. And as he comes back to exit the corner, they make contact and they both are sent spinning, and that's going to add even more problems to his race.
Into the world was able to escape with no damage though, but those tires was probably taking a huge lick in terms of tire wear.
Absolutely.
Not what the world wanted.
I believe Scar Logan has pitted. Yeah, he has pitted for the soft tires. He's still got a penalty coming for starting on the wrong tires. We do got to remind you of that. But now he's going to have the pace, and Demorts is just out alone in front on that older medium tire compound. He might be trying to stretch out the rain at this point.
Yep, and when they give us those indicators of rain, you really just never know when exactly. It could come 10 laps earlier than it says, or 10 laps later. You just never know. So Demort's banking on maybe it coming earlier than we expected. Now Aizen to the inside of Catastrophic couldn't quite get it done. Have to probably wait till the front straight, because there's not, as you mentioned at the start, a lot of overtaking positions here in Hungary.
Yeah, and another problem with the track, with the cloud cover moving in, and this track getting a bit darker, is that it's getting colder, and these guys got less grip. Oh, big swerve there, Catastrophic, as he moves to block, and then moves back to the racing line. All fair game. You only move twice, which you're allowed to do. But it did definitely throw Aizen off a little bit there, as not. Oh, and yeah, never mind, not enough, because we didn't have the camera angle for it. But Aizen getting past Catastrophic, all we saw was a nice chunk of hill, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he got very loose out of turn 1, and Aizen took advantage of it.
F. Burn Ritchie getting past the Mercedes of Calais as well, and looks like he's going to be under fire from Craigo. Craigo trying to take to the grass to go around the outside. Oh, but goes deep. Is that going to open the door for Craigo? It will, as I think there's wing damage on the Mercedes, and that's an easy overtake for the Ferrari. And look at that, falling back further to Joseph Cozy. End of the world, getting past him as well. I think it's going to be a pit stop for the Mercedes crew here.
Yeah, look at that. He especially during the sector 2 middle portion of the track.
Oh, Cozy getting past Craigo as well. And does Craigo have troubles too? Yeah, Craigo has troubles. I think maybe making contact with Calais. That might be why they're both struggling right now. Cozy getting himself up into P7, and that's a good race so far for the Red Bull driver.
Extremely good race, but now that's going to be Craigo into the pits, whole new front wing, and Calais is not going to be too far behind him.
No, and that's it. At this point, you're going to last until the rain, no matter where it comes. The question is do you put hards and hope that you can outlast the rain and make it to the end on those tires, or do you plan a pit stop with the rain? You can't predict that until it starts falling. But it's got to be going through his head right now as he's diving to that pit stop, and it's unplanned. You're really unsure. It's kind of an awkward point in the race where the hards would make it to the end, but kind of the mediums if there's a safety car. So you gotta take a gamble based on that, and hope that it works. And as he comes out of the pits, I think we're seeing some battling going on further back in the midfield there for the last point paying positions of 14th and 15th. And it's the deck, Maverick, and a Stunik. And we have a yellow flag somewhere, virtual safety car. Again, we're not seeing the notifications on our screen as a spectator. I'm having to glance over at Fallen Monkeys'
Milton Match is pitting. He what appears to be saying or hoping that the rain maybe doesn't come.
Well, he's pitting. He's got a VSC, which means he can pit. And if the rain doesn't come, make it to the end of this race, Depending on what tire he puts on here, he's going to put on another set of softs.
Another pair of softs.
So I think
three pairs of softs.
I think he knows. No, I think did Bilton Matt start? Yeah, he did start on the softs, didn't he? So I think maybe he's definitely hoping that the rain's coming. He got his free pit stop, but is it really free? Because he's dropped down to 7th place as the VSC finishes.
Well, I mean, for him to gain anything out of that, the rain, it can't come. I can't seem to think of why he'd want to pit again. I mean, I know the fresh tires, and maybe just hoping that the rain comes at the exact end of these softs lifespan. But yeah, he just lost a good 4 positions.
And yeah, so not 100% sure what's happening with Bilton Matt's strategy there, but if it works, it works. There goes another pit stop for the Mercedes crew, and that's Fallen Monkeys out of the session. Calais as well after that pit stop. Not a good weekend for the German team. 15th and out, so at best right now they're getting 1 point home. Not what they want in the championship. Oh, going very wide there is Maverick.
Joseph Cozy and End of the World having a good battle here. Cozy's able to keep it ahead out of turn 1.
Oh, in the back there, End of the World and Bilton Matt also going at it. There's 3 of them fighting for 1 position. Right now, Cozy having to defend, and here comes End of the World around the outside. That's not going to work. That was never going to work. Cozy getting the short end of that stick. End of the World just trying to muscle his way through, and you can't you can't really go around the outside, and at the same time, if you're on the inside, you got to know to back out from that. End of the World managing to keep the car. He's going to have to fight off Bilton Matt now. Joseph Cozy dropping 2 positions and hurting his tires, but he's not too far back. There's still a chance that he can catch up, but he's not going to be happy with that one. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, it looked a bit aggressive, kind of swooping back, not giving all the room that End of the World could have given. It's just not really an overtaking place, especially around the outside. So definitely understandable why Cozy would be upset. But here goes Bilton Matt on the inside of the turn 1, gets the job done, and that's 5th place.
Yeah, End of the World having to slot back in behind him. And Bilton Matt, like you said, getting himself into the top 5. Very well done for him. F1 Richie, not a bad race considering the start he's had. He's up into P4. And if we see some rain here, he might be able to pull up a strategy that gets him closer to Aizen, Scarlo, and Demorts, because he needs all the points he can get right now. Mivaku not able to make the start of this race, and if he can get a win, if he can get a podium, he's going to close in that 70-point gap that he has to our championship leader right now, and that's what he needs the most right now. He just needs to get consistent points. Doesn't have to be the most. He just needs points. Oh. What's happened here? Yend and Calais, I think, having an incident at turn 1 as both of them spinning around. I think Yend getting away with no damage. And is Calais going to need a new front wing again? Yeah, that's more damage to his front wing. So bad to worse goes the Mercedes day. And Chilmo here right now. This car looks a bit ghosted to me, but it might just be my screen. Chilmo not having a good race of his own either, in 18th position. He's definitely hoping for more after some strong performances, I think. At least personally, in previous Grand Prix. But yeah, Chilmo's going to have to put in some work late in the race if he wants to salvage some points from this result.
Yep, and Demorts pits out of the lead, files into 3rd, so that gives Scarlo on the softs the lead with a penalty incoming at the end of the race. Aizen, after everything, is back up into 2nd. As you mentioned, F1 Richie is right behind Demorts, having a pretty consistent race, as you said. It's not the win, but Mivako's not scoring, so points are points and anything will help.
absolutely. And we're seeing, I believe that is the lap car of Chilmo getting overtaken by Demorts here as the leaders are already starting to round up the field. And I think the big question mark here is, what is Scar Logan going to get for starting on the wrong tires? Because he's the only one who wasn't able to switch his tires, which means I don't think he's going to be able to use the "I didn't have time," not excuse, but defense. And it's going to be a harsh penalty because it did really just give him the better strategy going into this Grand Prix.
Yeah, starting on pole probably saw an opportunity, but alas, rules are the rules. Can't do that, so he'll have a penalty coming. So Aizen, depending on the penalty, looking good at the moment.
Yeah, Aizen, he's 10 seconds back, and I have a feeling that it's going to be a harsher penalty than 5 seconds. I don't know if it's going to be 10 seconds. Might be 10 seconds. But Aizen needs to close up that gap if he wants to be sure. But he is looking like a candidate for the win here, as we just have to know what kind of penalty Scar Logan's going to get. But Demorts still close behind. Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze there. Ugh. What were you saying? Apologies for that.
What was I saying? Oh my goodness, it was the sneeze caught me so off guard.
Alright, catastrophic. ISRL X having a little bit of a battle here in the lower top 10 for 9th place. Catastrophic kept keeping his run up the table alive, but we haven't seen him progress at a rate we would normally see. And we mentioned this earlier on. Oh, that's a nice little switchback, and he's gonna be able to get ahead in the straightaway. We mentioned this earlier on. It's a tough racetrack to overtake at. It's very easy to get stuck behind somebody here.
Yep, and that could do a lot for your tires. The more time you spend tucked in behind someone, you get a lot of dirty air, a lot of oversteer, just kills the tires. So I want to try and keep your distance as much as possible and try and find the right opportunity to make your move.
Yeah, and it's because of those slow bits, you get stuck behind somebody there, you're going to be stuck behind them for the whole sector, maybe till next lap. So you really got to plan it just right, and or else you end up stuck. Catastrophic though, up into P9, which I'm sure he's quite happy with.
I'll tell you what though, we're still waiting on the ring. Been this overcast for about a good 10 laps now, and have not yet seen a drop. Aizen and Demorts fighting for, I guess, net lead, and Demorts has it around the inside of turn 1, gets past Aizen, and from all intents and purposes, this is most likely for the lead of the race.
Yeah, Demorts with the better strategy. He actually qualified on the mediums. He was helped by this lobby restart because the mediums he was starting on were 3 or 4 laps old. So, but he did start on the right tire. That's just kind of a part of restarting lobbies. You can't simulate the tire wear. Demorts getting a bit of an advantage, but he did qualify with those tires in P10. He's just saving himself a bit of tire wear. It ends up paying off as he can go a little bit later into the race with the mediums, put on the hard tires, and now he's got more pace than the guys ahead of him. And who is that right ahead of Demorts? Is that the Deck? The Deck in danger of getting lapped while his teammate is up into P9. I'm sure he's not happy with his race performance.
Yeah, not the day that the Deck was looking for. Then again, I've already had 2 cars go a lap down, so kind of more along the lines of these leaders are just absolutely flying, as to, rather than these guys. Then the Deck has, no pace. But we've got a retirement. It's a Maverick after fighting up front for a little bit is out.
Yeah, right, and getting loose there in turn 2. I wonder if we can see. It looks like he's just got loose, collected that inside wall, and is that gonna? That's no safety car, nothing. So it's just gonna clear that car. There you go. Boop. There it goes. And we carry on racing. Luckily, no safety car there. Could have easily triggered one though. He was kind of on the racetrack.
Yeah, and that would have been huge with only 11 laps remaining, and still no signs of rain. So as I was mentioning earlier, you know, it could come out later than it says, or much earlier than you just never know. And I was definitely thinking that we would maybe have seen some droplets by now, but
absolutely, it's looking more and more likely. Like we might just finish this race on the slicks, but of course, sometimes when it rains, it pours, and we might see some actual inter battles yet. F1 Richie into the pits. What is he going to do? On to the medium, so he's going to go hopefully until the end of the race, he thinks. Soft tires. Oh, right as he pits. Yeah, I saw that.
Right as he pits.
As he accelerates out of his pit box, the rain starts coming down. That's unlucky for him. That means nobody ahead of him is going to react to that. I think nobody pitting at this point. They're just going to wait until they have to pit from the rain. And F1 Richie cost himself some valuable championship points with that early call there. Hard to say how worn his tires were. It might have been the smart call for him. Like, it is possible that he was starting to run out of grip. But definitely unfortunate timing for the Ferrari. And now the Ferrari boys back in 9th and 10th after starting 4th and 5th. So not the race they were hoping for so far.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate for F1 Richie. I can tell you I'd be absolutely losing my mind if I saw that rain animation excuse me, activate right as I was leaving my pit stop, putting on fresh slick.
Logan is in the pits
early.
And is he going to go on the inters? Is he gambling it right away? And he is. Their first inters. That's a questionable call. I mean, he's in first place. He probably knows he's got a penalty coming. And I think he's gambling on the inters that he can maybe get enough of a gap to offset the penalty. It's very early though.
One lap, I can't imagine the track's wet enough.
We're gonna keep tabs with his gap to End of the World and Joseph Cozy, the two guys right in front of him, and behind him 6.3, behind 1.2 in front.
Yeah, and Scarlo's already lost a second and a half
to Cozy, but he's also gaining on End of the World, surprisingly enough.
No, he's lost a second. He's lost over a second to End of the World. It was
End of the World is catching up to Built and Matt. I'm just reading this wrong. Yeah, so not a surprise that the Inters maybe just a bit early.
Yeah, it's too early. Struggling just to even keep it on the track and probably overheating the tires, wearing them out way too fast. Just pulled the trigger just a little bit too early. And
as the leaders come around, D-Morse, Aizen, neither of them are going to pit. Built Matt's not going to pit, End of the World's not going to pit, and nobody reacting to that early pit stop from Scar Logan. And that's just going to cost them even more time because the more time they aren't making that mistake, the more time Scar Logan loses, and that's a nice move from End of the World down the inside of Built and Matt. And getting out of the way is the Red Bull of Hartman. And Built Matt's going to keep fighting back, though. End of the World going a little bit deep. It is slippery out here. And somehow getting more grip on those hard tires than Built Matt is on the softs. But very well done from the Renault driver. And that's a double Renault podium as it stands. End of the World and D-Morts both getting that French team back to the top. And if they can just keep it going until the end of this Grand Prix, we're going to see the first double Renault podium of the season.
Yeah, and the guy in between the two Renaults, Aizen, has had a really, really poor middle sector. Nearly went off the track into the grass a little bit, so definitely getting a little bit slippery. Don't think it's quite time yet. Maybe one more lap. Yeah,
Aizen doesn't think so. He's going to stay back out. But we're seeing just tiptoeing across this circuit. And now this is the part where that gap to Scar Logan starts to matter. Because, Catastrophic gets past Scar Logan as well. Scar Logan falling down the order more and more. Look at that. Benbow is going to get past him. Is F1 Richie's going to get past him. He's just dropping positions like a stone. And is that Estunik or is that... No, that's Chilmo, who's had a spin outside of turn 4. Scar Logan, and yeah, he's definitely
Joseph
pitted
Cozy.
much too early.
From 5th position after that spin, Joseph Cozy pits. He thinks it's time for the inters. Catastrophic, who's made his way, and unsurprisingly at this point, up to 5th. F1 Richie, he's going to pit for inters. So some guys pulling the trigger now with only 7 laps left. Maybe these guys up front going to try and stick it out on the slicks, but it is getting really, really slippery. Look at Azen go way off track. And
yeah,
he's almost struggling again right in front of these guys.
On board with some of these guys. Cozy, I mean, he's struggling with some cold tires there. He's right on board with Craigo. He's still on the slick mediums. Really having to slow down. But he is catching up to Scar Logan, who's right ahead of him on the inters. So I think it's crossover point, but it's not crossover point enough.
It is crossover. Yes, it is.
For
the leaders.
It is for the leaders, so they're pitting. I think it's still a little bit quicker on the slicks right now. I'm seeing Craigo catching up to the Haas of Scar Logan quite rapidly.
Now, and look who's staying out. Look who's going to be in the lead of this race.
Is it catastrophic by any chance?
No. I saw the pink dot and I thought it would be catastrophic.
I saw that too. This is the deck just unlapping himself.
It's the deck.
Bilton Matt is going to be in the lead for now, but catastrophic.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, he's got himself out into P5.
Speaking of which, he will pit as well.
And is Craigo going to pit? Yeah, Craigo's going to pit. You think he starts? He's finally gone up to that point where he's no longer catching up to Scar Logan, and he knows that it's now time to pit.
Now, we haven't seen the DRS disabled sign. We haven't gotten any notifications yet, so I don't know if we just missed it. But if it hasn't been disabled yet, there's a lot of drivers opting for the early switch.
I think it may have been.
Yeah, it's rain. It is kind of getting the spray.
We're gonna see. Let's look at
Bilton Matt and Demort's having a bit of trouble. Bilton Matt goes off circuit. Azen able to get past him for second.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong bit of the grid here. Yeah, so Demort's getting ahead, and Bilton Matt is gonna lose time. Azen getting himself back up into second. Bilton Matt, I think, just waited too long on those soft tires.
Yeah,
and DRS has definitely been enabled. I was trying to spot Catastrophic, who was within a second of F1 Richie at the start of the last zone, and it was not opening. So pretty sure it has been disabled unless
Matt has taken a spin right in front of the pit entry.
And I think that's proof enough that he should have pitted earlier. Bilton Matt had the lead briefly, but now he's going to be dropping down the order. He's got to fix his wing as well. Sometimes some gambles just don't pay off. I think this is prime example of one of them, as his race goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, kind of teasing him in a way, right as he was about to enter into the pits, just on the power too quick and spun the car around, front wing gone as well, so more added time in the pits for Williams, but just 5 laps left now. Demort's trying to hang on against Azen and Into the World. You mentioned the double Renault podium looked like a possible reality at this point.
Absolutely, and they're looking strong too. Big gap to the cars behind, and of course Scar Logan, who's in 4th. We mentioned it before, possible penalty coming his way. So Renaults have gotten themselves up into very good position for the end of this race, and I don't want to jinx it. With 5 laps to go, I think we're going to be seeing both of them on the podium. Question is in which order, because Azen is still got some fight left in him, and he's been steadily catching up to Demort's in the rain.
Yeah, but just only 4 laps left. Don't know if there's going to be enough time. Demort's is looking pretty strong, I might say. Gained a couple of tenths on this lap alone. Yeah, with only 4 laps left, Azen's probably going to want to get a move on now, especially in the rain.
Yeah, he caught up to about 2 seconds flat. He's lost 6 tenths there. 7 tenths now. Must have made a mistake somewhere. Or Demorts is using up more ERS this time around. But Aizen, oh, there, I think he's just catching up in the slow sections of the track and losing a lot of time in the straights because must just be some different in setups because it looks like Aizen's just able to follow a little bit closer through sector 2 there. But yeah, Aizen, he needs to get a move on. He's got 4 laps to do it, and or else it's not going to be his win. Of course, penalties can still come affected. Benbow making his charge on Catastrophic. He's gotten himself up into P7, so good going for Catastrophic. But unfortunately for him, Benbow is not making it easy, is he?
No, trying to fight for every single position, especially with only now 3 laps left at the line. As now Demorts crosses it. Lap 32 is starting. And yeah, Demort's looking strong. He's still pulling away, as you said, on the straights, but Aizen not doing enough in sectors 2 and 3 to negate the time lost on the straights.
Yeah, F1 Richie is getting close to Cozy. Cozy, who's been very quietly in 5th place this whole time, must be starting to feel the sweat just a little bit. We're seeing that pink helmet followed by the nice Ferrari red of F1 Richie's suit and helmet combo. Joseph Cozy probably a little bit more wet than the other drivers there. We got the rain coming down on him, but for sure he's sweating a lot, seeing red all over his mirrors right now. But he's had a good race so far, being able to get his car up into P5 despite some early battles. And Cozy, I'm sure, regardless of how this finishes, he's got to be happy with this one because that's a solid result for a driver who's needed a solid result for a while.
Yeah, a way to really boost your confidence just when you need it the most is to get a good result like this. Still 2 laps left, 3, I guess.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. The one thing for Cozy though is that the 2 behind him, behind Richie, are fighting as well. So he's doesn't have to worry too much about losing time to them because they're costing each other time. It's making his job just slightly easier.
Yeah, and then at that point it just comes down to execution. You know, this is when, you know, everyone gets nervous right now, but who's going to step up? Who's going to make the play, or I guess, you know, make the move in this instance when it matters and at the right level of execution.
Yeah.
You know, we're all nervous. You know, go out and show us the talent. Right now, Cozy is doing an excellent job of showing us that pace that we always knew he had, but he's executing it very well right now, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, it's a lap down, but it doesn't make the battle any less intense. Hartman and the deck have been going at it. They've been quite close here for a little bit. They are fighting for points, and they're pushing it hard, the Racing Point and the Red Bull. So both Red Bull drivers engaged in some pretty tough fights right now. And the deck trying to go around the outside of turn 3, not going to happen. And they've been fighting this way. Oh, Hartman has to cut the chicane. He's going to have to give the position up to the deck there, giving...
Loses one to Yin, too.
Yeah, and being a little bit too nice, I think, to the other drivers there as he drops down a little bit further. And there goes one of the battles. F1 Richie has not given up in his, though. But Cozy, look at that. He's able to increase that gap up to a second now. And I think Cozy had some hidden reserves left in the tank, and he's been saving it up because there we go. He's just extending that gap to a second with only a lap and a half to go. And Joseph Cozy with an excellent performance so far. Bembo still all over the rear of Catastrophic. And these two, look at that. Catastrophic has a bit of a weird exit there. And that's going to let Bembo get a good run. Not able to convert it into anything meaningful as they stay bumper to bumper. A little bit loose from Catastrophic. Oh, and what's happened to ISRL X? Very late in the race.
Yeah, gotta, you know, predict that he maybe got that white curbing on the inside. And
I do think this is what happened.
Yeah, in the wet, good night. You're done. If you
yeah,
in the wet, let alone your dry.
I do rather think that's what happened there. As we're gonna look, see if we can spot. Yeah, I think he's gone deep there. Maybe he clipped the grass or something, and that's his race over right at the end. And that's gonna promote a couple of guys who weren't gonna finish this race in the points into the points. I'm thinking Chilmo. I think he might just be able to, or it's Hardman's gonna be able to sneak in there, and
Calay's gonna get some good points too for Mercedes.
as well. That race looked quite hopeless for a bit.
Yeah. Any points are good points. As Stunek was facing the wrong way not 10 laps ago, it's a good recovery from him.
Gotten himself back up into P11 yeah, that's a good race. Two battles here left to solve as our leaders are on the last lap already. Catastrophic and Bembo about to get the white flag for the first time. They've been very close. F1 Richie and Joseph Cozy have been very close. And look at that. F1 Richie getting a better exit. I think he's going to leave it all on the line here on the last lap. I hope Cozy's ready because F1 Richie's coming at him very, very quickly and getting a little bit wobbly out of that last corner. That's going to hurt him. You get another straight right after this one. If you can outbrake him into turn 1, get a good exit in turn 2. Is it going to work for him? Not yet.
He got a very good exit, much better exit.
Yeah. Some good defensive driving from Cozy there, keeping Richie at bay when it matters most. It doesn't matter if he's super close to you, where he can't pass you, as long as he's further back where he can.
Now Aizen has gotten that gap crucially. We're on the last lap. It's crucially gotten it under 3 seconds. Now penalties. We're gonna have to keep an eye on it. But at the beginning of this lap, it was 3.5. Now D-Morts is going to cross the line first.
Yeah, the leader's very far ahead of the rest of the pack here. They've had a great race, the two Renaults and Aizen, and D-Morts is going to cross the line to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Aizen across. He's going to take some penalties. Drops him into P2. End of the world, though. Right behind him in third. That's a double podium for Renault and Aizen coming home in to split the two yellow cars up. Scar Logan coming home in fourth. He still has a penalty coming his way. And is it going to be big enough to let Cozy potentially take fourth as he's coming around the penultimate corner here? And Cozy...
Nice and easy.
And just got to keep it steady. And F1 Richie is going to be able to catch up. Cozy able to keep fifth place, but Catastrophic and Bembo jumped them both.
That's okay.
And Catastrophic into fifth, Bembo in sixth, Cozy seventh, F1 Richie eighth, and Craigo in ninth. So two Ferraris finishing together where they spent most of the race despite not finishing near each other.
F1 Richie, a huge, in my opinion, a huge missed opportunity, I think. In this race with Mivako out, only 8th for the man in second in the top 3 in the points.
Absolutely, and a kind of a missed opportunity for him for sure. He had a great great chance to close that gap up to Mivako. Finishing 8th in the end though, so still a solid haul of points, but much less than he wanted. Yeah, much less than he could have had, and much less than I think he wanted to have. But we're seeing Renault, DP World on the podium here in Hungary, as well as the McLaren of Aizen. And this was a fun Grand Prix. It was quite intense. We had some rain changeable weather. Don't think we're gonna have time for the podium interviews just because we have tier 2 to get started very, very shortly, and because of the lobby reset, we have had less time than expected. But your finishing order: D-Morts, Aizen, End of the World on your podium. Scar Logan, Catastrophic round out the top 5. Bembo, Joseph Cozy, F1 Richie, Craigo 82, Bilton Matt, your top 10. Stunek, Calais, The Deck, Yen, and Hartman all score points. And then Chilmo 2 laps down. ISRL classifies 3 laps down after his late wreck. And Maverick and Fallen Monkeys, the two non-classified DNFs, round out your grid. I've been ISRL Knight, ISRL Carter here in the booth with me. And thank you guys all for tuning in. Don't forget to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and like us on Facebook, Instagram, follow us on Twitter if you want more races like this. And we're going to be back with Tier 2 in 10 minutes from now, more or less, as we head back to the Hungaroring for the second of 3 races here this afternoon. Carter, anything you want to say before we close this off?
just if we're gonna get some good action like that out of Tier 3, definitely don't want to miss Tier 2. But we gotta prepare it. It's only in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we gotta get the lobby up. Yeah, we gotta get the lobby up. We gotta get the race started, and we'll see you guys in 10 minutes. Same channel, same place, and see you soon. Take care, guys. Thank you for tuning in.